The Milky Way galaxy was a vast, bustling expanse, teeming with countless alien civilizations, each pursuing its own path to prosperity and power. For centuries, these diverse races had coexisted in a fragile balance, forging alliances, engaging in trade, and occasionally clashing over resources and territorial disputes. Yet, deep within the farthest reaches of the galaxy, an ancient evil had long lain dormant, its malevolent presence all but forgotten by the younger races that now dominated the stars. This was the Xenos, a ruthless, technologically advanced species that had once sought to subjugate the entire galaxy under their iron grip. But their reign of terror had been brought to an abrupt end 500,000 years ago, when a coalition of other alien powers had risen up to challenge their ambitions. In the aftermath of that cataclysmic conflict, the Xenos Empire had been shattered, its once mighty fleets reduced to drifting hulks, and its homeworld left a charred, lifeless husk. The victorious races had then sealed away the last remnants of the Xenos, entombing them in a state of suspended animation within an impenetrable fortress on the edge of the galaxy. There, the Xenos slumbered, their thirst for conquest temporarily quenched, as the younger civilizations flourished and spread outward to claim the stars. But now, after centuries of uneasy peace, a great disturbance rippled through the fabric of the galaxy. Sensors across multiple star systems detected a surge of activity emanating from the ancient Xenos stronghold, a resurgence of power that sent shockwaves of alarm through the halls of power. On the Galactic Council, representatives from the most influential alien races convened in urgent session, their faces etched with grave concern. "The Xenos have awakened," declared the Valerian ambassador, his voice heavy with trepidation. "Their fleets are mobilizing, and their technology seems to have advanced far beyond what we last encountered." The Grelian envoy nodded solemnly. "This is a grave threat. If the Xenos regain their full strength, they will seek to reclaim dominion over the galaxy. We must act swiftly to contain them before it is too late." As the delegates argued and debated potential courses of action, a single voice rose above the din, commanding the attention of all present. "There may be another option," intoned the Terran representative, a stoic figure clad in a pristine uniform, one that the Xenos could never have anticipated. Curious glances were exchanged, for the Terrans were a relatively obscure race, their presence in the galactic community barely acknowledged. Yet there was an air of quiet confidence about this particular envoy that piqued the interest of the others. "Explain yourself, Terran," the Valerian ambassador said, his tone laced with a hint of skepticism. The Terran representative clasped his hands behind his back, his gaze unwavering. "For centuries, our people have labored in the shadows, advancing our technologies and honing our martial skills. We have been preparing for this very moment, the return of the Xenos threat." A murmur of surprise rippled through the chamber. The Grelian envoy leaned forward, his eyes narrowed. "Preparing? What are you implying, Terran?" "I am implying," the Terran replied, "that Earth possesses the means to stand against the Xenos' onslaught and defend not just our own world, but the entire galaxy." The other delegates exchanged looks of stunned disbelief, their expressions ranging from skepticism to outright incredulity. The Valerian ambassador scoffed, shaking his head. "Impossible. The Terrans are a backwater race, barely capable of interstellar travel, let alone mounting an effective defense against the might of the Xenos Empire." The Terran representative remained unfazed, his features set in a determined expression. "Believe what you will, but I can assure you that Earth is far more than it appears. When the Xenos make their move, you will see the true extent of our capabilities." With that, the Terran envoy turned and strode from the chamber, leaving the Galactic Council to grapple with the implications of his startling claim. As the doors closed behind him, a ripple of unease spread through the gathered delegates, for they could not shake the unsettling feeling that the Terran's words had been more than mere bravado. Time would soon tell whether the obscure race from the third planet of the Sol system truly possessed the means to alter the course of the impending Xenos onslaught. The fate of the entire galaxy hung in the balance. While the Galactic Council wrestled with the implications of the Terran envoy's bold claims, the leaders of Earth were quietly mobilizing their planet's considerable resources in preparation for the looming Xenos threat. For centuries, the people of Earth had worked tirelessly, driven by a sense of purpose that transcended the petty rivalries and territorial disputes that plagued the other alien civilizations. Under the guidance of a highly coordinated global government, they had poured their collective energies into advancing their technological capabilities, developing breakthroughs in fields ranging from faster-than-light propulsion to directed energy weapons. Yet, throughout this period of rapid progress, Earth had maintained a deliberately low profile, content to observe the machinations of the galaxy from afar. Only a select few within the highest echelons of power were privy to the true extent of Earth's technological prowess and its secret ambitions. At the heart of this clandestine operation was the Global Space Command, a highly specialized military organization that oversaw the development and deployment of Earth's advanced spacecraft and weaponry. Its commander, Admiral Jenna Harrington, was a woman of unwavering resolve and tactical brilliance, with a keen understanding of the galaxy's delicate power dynamics. "The time has come," Harrington declared, addressing her senior officers in a secure command center deep beneath the surface of Earth. "The Xenos have awakened, and the other races are woefully unprepared to face their onslaught. We must act now, before it is too late." Her words were met with a resolute nod from the assembled commanders, each one acutely aware of the gravity of the situation. "Our fleets are ready, Admiral," one of the officers reported. "We have been conducting covert operations to map the Xenos' strongholds and identify their weaknesses. We can strike with devastating precision when the time is right." Harrington's lips curled into a grim smile. "Excellent. Inform the global leadership that we are prepared to intervene. But we must time our actions carefully. The other races must be allowed to engage the Xenos first, before we make our presence known." "Understood, Admiral," the officer replied. "We will continue to monitor the situation and await your command." As the meeting adjourned, Harrington turned her gaze to the holographic display that dominated the command center. It depicted the vast expanse of the Milky Way galaxy, with the looming Xenos stronghold highlighted in a pulsing red glow. "500,000 years," she murmured, her eyes narrowing. 500,000 years, and the Xenos have finally resurfaced. But this time, they will face a foe unlike any they have ever encountered. Elsewhere, across the globe, Earth's leaders convened in hushed, private gatherings, carefully coordinating their preparations for the impending conflict. Engineers worked around the clock to finalize the designs of advanced spacecraft and weaponry, while diplomatic envoys forged covert alliances with select alien races, laying the groundwork for a potential coalition against the Xenos threat. In the shadows, Earth's military might silently grew, its fleets of state-of-the-art vessels equipped with technologies that would seem like the stuff of science fiction to the other civilizations. The people of Earth, long isolated from the greater galactic community, were poised to make their presence known in the most dramatic fashion imaginable. As the Xenos mobilized their forces and the Galactic Council debated their options, unaware of the true power that lay dormant on the third planet of the Sol system, the stage was set for a cataclysmic confrontation that would forever alter the balance of power in the Milky Way. As the Galactic Council continued to debate the appropriate course of action, the Xenos wasted no time in unleashing their long-dormant aggression upon the unsuspecting galaxy. Vast armadas of sleek, angular warships emerged from the ancient fortress, their hulls gleaming with the power of advanced technologies that had lain dormant for half a millennium. The initial strikes were swift and merciless, targeting the outlying colonies and trade outposts of the various alien civilizations. Powerful energy beams lanced out, vaporizing entire settlements and reducing once bustling hubs of activity to smoldering ruins. Desperate calls for aid echoed through the galactic communication channels, but the Council's response was hampered by bickering and indecision. "We must mobilize our fleets immediately," the Grellian envoy pleaded, his usually stoic demeanor betraying a newfound sense of panic. The Xenos are cutting a swath of destruction through our territories. If we do not act now, they will overrun us all." The Valerian ambassador shook his head grimly. "You forget, Grelian, that our fleets have been weakened by decades of internal strife and budget cuts. We simply do not have the resources to mount an effective defense against the Xenos' onslaught." "Then we must seek aid from the other races," the Grelian insisted. "Surely the Zeterians or the Crixan Empire can lend us their military might." But the Valerian ambassador raised a hand, silencing the plea. "The Zeterians are embroiled in a civil war, and the Crixan Empire has withdrawn into isolationism. We are alone in this fight, Grelian. The Xenos will crush us, one by one." As the delegates continued to argue, the reports of Xenos' victories continued to pour in, each one more devastating than the last. Entire star systems fell under the alien juggernaut, their populations either slaughtered or enslaved to serve the Xenos' war machine. The once proud civilizations of the galaxy found themselves powerless to stem the tide of the relentless invasion. In the shadows, the Terran envoy watched the unfolding calamity with a stoic, unreadable expression. He had tried to warn the Galactic Council of the impending threat, but his pleas had fallen on deaf ears, dismissed as the ramblings of a minor, insignificant race. Now, as the galaxy teetered on the brink of utter annihilation, the Terran knew that the time had come to reveal Earth's true capabilities. Slipping away from the frantically debating delegates, the Terran envoy made his way to a secure communications hub, where he delivered a coded transmission to his superiors back on Earth. Within hours, the response came, and the Terran's lips curled into a grim smile. "So be it," he murmured, turning his gaze once more to the holographic displays that painted a bleak picture of the galaxy's dire circumstances. Elsewhere, in the furthest reaches of the Milky Way, Earth's military forces had been silently mobilizing, their state-of-the-art vessels equipped with weapons and propulsion systems that far surpassed the capabilities of the other alien races. Now, at the behest of their leaders, these fleets began to stir, their engines igniting with a brilliant luminescence as they prepared to embark on a mission that would forever alter the course of galactic history. As the Xenos continued their inexorable advance, devastating planet after planet, a sudden disturbance rippled through the fabric of space-time. Sensors aboard the alien warships detected an anomaly, a surge of activity that defied their understanding. Moments later, a vast armada of sleek, angular vessels emerged from the void, their hulls gleaming with an otherworldly sheen. The Xenos commanders, their confidence bolstered by their string of victories, immediately ordered their forces to engage the newcomers. But as the first salvos of energy beams and missiles were unleashed, a sense of dread began to creep into the hearts of the alien invaders. For the Xenos' devastating weapons, once so feared and respected throughout the galaxy, seemed to have little effect on the impenetrable shields and advanced countermeasures of the Terran ships. In return, Earth's vessels unleashed a barrage of devastatingly accurate fire, their focused beam weapons and precision-guided munitions tearing through the Xenos' vaunted defenses with ease. Panic began to set in among the Xenos' ranks as their fleets were systematically dismantled by the unexpected onslaught. Their once unstoppable juggernaut had encountered a foe that seemed to possess technological capabilities that far surpassed their own, and the realization that their conquest might be in jeopardy began to dawn on the alien commanders. As the Xenos continued their inexorable advance, devastating planet after planet, a sudden disturbance rippled through the fabric of space-time. Sensors aboard the alien warships detected an anomaly, a surge of activity that defied their understanding. Moments later, a vast armada of sleek, angular vessels emerged from the void, their hulls gleaming with an otherworldly sheen. The Xenos commanders, their confidence bolstered by their string of victories, immediately ordered their forces to engage the newcomers. But as the first salvos of energy beams and missiles were unleashed, a sense of dread began to creep into the hearts of the alien invaders. For the Xenos' devastating weapons, once so feared and respected throughout the galaxy, seemed to have little effect on the impenetrable shields and advanced countermeasures of the Terran ships. In return, Earth's vessels unleashed a barrage of devastatingly accurate fire, their focused beam weapons and precision-guided munitions tearing through the Xenos' vaunted defenses with ease. The sudden appearance of Earth's advanced fleet caught the Xenos invaders off guard, their confidence shattered by the unexpected display of technological superiority. As the alien warships unleashed their devastating firepower, the Terran vessels absorbed the attacks with ease, their state-of-the-art shielding systems deflecting the Xenos' energy beams and missiles with ease. In return, Earth's ships launched a devastating counterattack, their focused particle beams and precision-guided munitions carving through the Xenos' vaunted defenses like a hot knife through butter. Entire squadrons of the alien vessels were reduced to smoldering husks within moments, their crews left helpless in the face of the overwhelming onslaught. Panic began to spread through the Xenos' ranks as they realized that their once formidable military might was no match for the Terrans' advanced capabilities. The alien commanders barked frantic orders, desperately trying to regroup and mount a more coordinated defense, but the Earth's fleet continued to press the attack with unwavering determination. Aboard the flagship of the Terran Armada, Admiral Jenna Harrington observed the unfolding battle with a stoic, calculating gaze. Her fingers danced across the holographic display, issuing precise commands to her subordinates, each move meticulously planned to exploit the Xenos' weaknesses and neutralize their strengths. "Target their command vessels," she ordered, her voice calm and unwavering. "Cut off their communications and disrupt their ability to coordinate their forces." The Terran ships responded with lightning-fast precision, their weapons systems locking onto the Xenos' command and control nodes. One by one, the alien flagships were reduced to drifting, lifeless hulks, their crews either killed or rendered incapable of directing the battle. As the Xenos forces descended into disarray, the Terran Armada continued its relentless assault, its advanced propulsion systems allowing it to outmaneuver the enemy and strike at their most vulnerable points. Entire squadrons of Xenos warships were systematically dismantled, their once formidable firepower reduced to little more than ineffectual pinpricks against the Terrans' impenetrable defenses. Aboard the Galactic Council's command vessel, the assembled delegates watched the unfolding battle with a mixture of awe and trepidation. The Valerian ambassador, his previous skepticism now replaced by a growing sense of unease, turned to the Terran envoy, who stood silently observing the proceedings. This is impossible," the Valerian murmured, his voice tinged with a hint of fear. "How can your people possess such advanced technology? How have you kept this hidden from us for so long?" The Terran envoy met the Valerian's gaze with a quiet, unwavering stare. "We have been preparing for this moment for centuries, Valerian. While you and the other races have been content to squabble over petty territorial disputes, we have been honing our skills and advancing our capabilities, all for the sake of defending our planet, and, if necessary, the entire galaxy." The Valerian's eyes narrowed, and he shook his head in disbelief. "But why reveal yourselves now? Why not simply let the Xenos destroy us, and then conquer the galaxy for yourselves?" A faint smile tugged at the corners of the Terran's lips. "Because, Valerian, we are not conquerors. We are protectors. The Xenos pose a threat not just to your civilizations, but to the very fabric of the galaxy itself. Their lust for power and domination must be stopped, and we have the means to do so." As the Valerian struggled to comprehend the implications of the Terran's words, a sudden, earth-shaking explosion rocked the Xenos fleet, drawing the attention of all present. On the holographic display, the image of a massive Xenos command vessel disintegrating into a cloud of debris sent a shockwave of shock and awe through the Galactic Council. The Terran envoy turned his gaze back to the battle, his expression hardening. "The time has come," he murmured, "for the galaxy to witness the full extent of Earth's power." With that, the Terran envoy strode away, leaving the stunned delegates to grapple with the realization that the once obscure race from the third planet of the Sol system had emerged as a force to be reckoned with, a protector that had the means to turn the tide of the Xenos invasion and perhaps reshape the very foundations of the galactic order. As the battle raged on, the Terran fleet continued to decimate the Xenos forces, its advanced weaponry and tactics proving to be a decisive advantage. The alien invaders, once so confident in their ability to crush the younger civilizations, found themselves outmatched and outmaneuvered at every turn, their desperate attempts to regroup and mount a counteroffensive thwarted by the Terrans' relentless onslaught. In the end, the Xenos Armada, once a formidable and feared force, lay in ruins, its scattered remnants fleeing into the depths of space, their will to fight all but broken. The Terran fleet, its advanced shields and engines still largely intact, turned its attention to the other alien civilizations, its commanders issuing a bold ultimatum that would forever alter the course of galactic history. As the Xenos fleet reeled from the devastating onslaught of the Terran Armada, the alien invaders scrambled to regroup and mount a desperate counterattack. Their once formidable command structure had been shattered, leaving the individual squadrons and battle groups to fight in a disorganized, haphazard manner. But the Terran forces, led by the unwavering Admiral Harrington, refused to relent. Swiftly maneuvering their ships, they pressed the advantage, unleashing a relentless barrage of focused particle beams and precision-guided missiles that tore through the Xenos defenses with ease. Entire squadrons of alien warships were reduced to drifting, lifeless hulks, their crews either killed or incapacitated by the Terrans' overwhelming firepower. The Xenos commanders, their confidence shaken, attempted to orchestrate a coordinated withdrawal, but the Terran fleet anticipated their every move, anticipating their tactics and outmaneuvering them at every turn. Aboard the Terran flagship, Admiral Harrington's eyes narrowed as she studied the tactical hologram, her mind racing to formulate the next phase of the battle plan. "Divert power to the forward shields," she ordered, her voice calm and unwavering. "Target the enemy's supply lines and logistics hubs. Cut off their ability to resupply and reinforce their forces." Her subordinates jumped to comply, their hands dancing across the glowing control panels as they executed the Admiral's directives. Within moments, the Terran fleet surged forward, their advanced propulsion systems allowing them to outmaneuver the Xenos and strike at their vulnerable infrastructure. Explosions rocked the alien battle groups as their supply depots and repair facilities were systematically destroyed, cutting off their access to critical resources and crippling their ability to maintain their vessels. The Xenos commanders watched in growing desperation as their once formidable invasion force began to crumble under the relentless Terran assault. Back on the Galactic Council's command vessel, the assembled delegates bore witness to the unfolding battle with a mixture of awe and trepidation. The Valerian ambassador, his face etched with a growing sense of unease, turned to the Terran envoy, who stood silently observing the proceedings. "Your people's power is truly formidable," the Valerian admitted, his voice tinged with a hint of begrudging respect. "If you are able to defeat the Xenos, what then? Will you seek to conquer the galaxy for yourselves?" The Terran envoy met the Valerian's gaze with a steady, unwavering stare. "Our goal is not conquest, Valerian, but protection. The Xenos pose a threat not just to your civilizations, but to the very fabric of the galaxy itself. If we do not stop them here, they will continue to rampage unchecked, destroying everything in their path." The Valerian nodded slowly, acknowledging the truth in the Terran's words. "And what of the other races?" he pressed. "Will you demand our submission, our fealty to your rule?" A faint smile tugged at the corners of the Terran envoy's lips. "That is for you and the other delegates to decide. Once the Xenos have been defeated, we will issue a proposal, a chance for the galaxy to come together under a unified banner, with Earth as its protector and guide." The Valerian's eyes widened, and he opened his mouth to respond, but the sudden rumble of an explosion cut him off. All eyes turned to the holographic display, where the image of a massive Xenos battleship disintegrating into a cloud of debris sent a shockwave of shock through the Galactic Council. "The enemy's command vessel has been destroyed," one of the Terran officers announced, his voice tinged with a hint of triumph. The Xenos forces are in disarray. They are beginning to retreat. Harrington's lips curled into a grim smile as she watched the enemy fleet's desperate attempts to disengage and flee the battle. "Pursue them," she ordered, her tone leaving no room for argument. "Do not allow them to regroup. This ends today." The Terran fleet surged forward, its advanced engines propelling it with unparalleled speed as it closed the distance to the retreating Xenos vessels. Powerful energy beams lanced out, crippling the alien ships and sending them spiraling into the void, their occupants left helpless in the face of the Terrans' relentless onslaught. As the last of the Xenos warships was reduced to a drifting, lifeless hulk, a deafening silence fell over the Galactic Council's command center. The delegates sat in stunned silence, their expressions ranging from disbelief to a dawning sense of trepidation. The Terran envoy stepped forward, his gaze sweeping across the assembled representatives. "The Xenos threat has been neutralized," he announced, his voice resonating with a quiet authority. "But the galaxy still faces peril. The time has come for Earth to assume its rightful place as the protector of this fragile cosmos." With those words, the Terran envoy turned and strode from the chamber, leaving the Galactic Council to grapple with the implications of his bold declaration. The fate of the galaxy now hung in the balance, as the once obscure race from the third planet of the Sol system had emerged as a force to be reckoned with, a power that would shape the future of the Milky Way and beyond. As the last remnants of the Xenos fleet retreated into the depths of space, the Terran armada remained in position, its formidable vessels poised to intercept any attempts at regrouping or counterattack. The Galactic Council, their previous confidence shattered by the overwhelming display of Earth's military might, convened in a tense, hushed session to discuss the implications of the recent events. The Valerian ambassador, his expression a mixture of awe and trepidation, cleared his throat and addressed the Terran envoy, who stood observing the proceedings with a calm, impassive demeanor. "Your people have done the galaxy a great service in vanquishing the Xenos threat," the Valerian began, his voice tinged with a hint of reluctance. "But now we must address the question of what comes next. What are your intentions?" The Terran envoy held up a hand, silencing the Valerian's inquiry. "The Xenos have been defeated, but the galaxy remains in peril. The younger civilizations have grown complacent, their defenses weakened by internal conflicts and short-sightedness. You are ill-equipped to defend yourselves against the forces that still lurk in the shadows." The Grelian delegate, his brow furrowed in a frown, spoke up. "Are you suggesting that we submit to your rule, Terran? That we surrender our autonomy and become subservient to your people?" The Terran envoy shook his head, his expression softening. "Not at all, Grelian. We do not seek to conquer or subjugate the galaxy. Rather, we offer you a chance to come together under a unified banner, one that will provide the protection and guidance necessary to ensure the survival and prosperity of all." The delegates exchanged uneasy glances, the weight of the Terran's words hanging heavy in the air. The Valerian ambassador leaned forward, his eyes narrowed. "And what precisely does this unified banner entail? What would be the terms of this alliance?" The Terran envoy clasped his hands behind his back, his gaze sweeping across the assembled representatives. "Earth is willing to share its advanced technologies and knowledge with the other civilizations, provided that you agree to certain conditions. First and foremost, you must acknowledge Earth's role as the protector of the galaxy, with the authority to intervene in matters of security and defense as we see fit." A murmur of discontent rippled through the Galactic Council, and the Valerian ambassador's expression darkened. "You would have us surrender our sovereignty to you, become mere vassals in your grand design?" The Terran envoy raised a hand, silencing the protests. "Not at all. Each member of this alliance would retain its autonomy and the right to self-governance. But in exchange for our protection and technological aid, You would agree to abide by a set of principles and guidelines that would ensure the stability and security of the galaxy as a whole. The delegates fell silent, their expressions a mix of contemplation and unease. The Grellian delegate spoke up once more, his voice tinged with a hint of skepticism. "And what happens if we refuse this offer of yours, Terran? What happens if we choose to go our own way, to reject your terms?" The Terran envoy's gaze hardened, and a somber expression settled onto his features. "Then I'm afraid we cannot guarantee your safety. The galaxy is a dangerous place, Grellian, and without the protection of Earth's might, you and your people will be vulnerable to the threats that still linger in the shadows." The Valerian ambassador's eyes narrowed, and he leaned back in his chair, considering the Terran's words. "You speak of a grand vision, Terran, one that would reshape the very foundations of the galactic order. But the decision you demand of us is no small one. We will need time to deliberate, to consult with our people, before we can provide you with a response." The Terran envoy inclined his head in a slight nod. "Time is a luxury the galaxy may not have. Valerian, the Xenos have been defeated, but there are other more insidious threats that lurk in the depths of space. We cannot afford to wait. The decision must be made, and it must be made now." The delegates exchanged uneasy glances, the weight of the Terran's ultimatum hanging heavy in the air. The fate of the galaxy, it seemed, now rested in their hands, a choice between accepting Earth's offer of protection and technological advancement, or rejecting it and facing an uncertain, potentially perilous future. As the Galactic Council deliberated, the Terran fleet maintained its vigilant watch, a silent reminder of the power that now stood poised to shape the destiny of the Milky Way and all who called it home. After days of tense deliberation, the Galactic Council reached a decision. They would accept Earth's offer of protection and technological advancement, and join the fledgling alliance under the Terran banner. The announcement was met with a mix of relief and trepidation among the various alien civilizations. While many welcomed the prospect of access to Earth's advanced technologies and the security of the Terran fleet, others remained wary of the implications of submitting to Terran leadership. Admiral Jenna Harrington, the commander of Earth's formidable armada, oversaw the process of integrating the newly allied races into the burgeoning interstellar coalition. It was a delicate and complex task, as each civilization had its own unique customs, languages, and political structures that needed to be accounted for. "We must tread carefully," Harrington told her senior officers during a strategy meeting. "The other races may have agreed to this alliance, but they are still fiercely independent. We cannot force our ways upon them, or we risk alienating them and undermining the very foundation of this new galactic order." The Terran envoy, who had been the driving force behind the negotiations, nodded in agreement. "Precisely. Our goal is to uplift and empower these civilizations, not to subjugate them. We must work to bridge the cultural divides and find common ground, rather than imposing our will." And so, a process of cultural exchange and technological sharing began, with Terran advisors embedded within the governments and military structures of the newly allied races. Together, they worked to establish a centralized governing body, the Galactic Council, that would oversee the coordination of defense, trade, and resource management across the entire alliance. It was a delicate balancing act, as the Terran representatives sought to guide the other races without appearing overbearing or heavy-handed. They shared their advanced knowledge in fields like energy production, interstellar propulsion, and weapons design, but they also made a concerted effort to learn from the unique cultural and scientific perspectives of their new allies. The Valerian ambassador, once a staunch skeptic of the Terrans' intentions, found himself begrudgingly impressed by the cooperative approach of the Terran envoy and his team. "I must admit, I was initially wary of your people's ambitions," the Valerian confessed during a private meeting. "But I can see now that your true desire is not conquest, but partnership. You have worked tirelessly to understand our ways and incorporate our perspectives into this new galactic order." The Terran envoy inclined his head in a gesture of acknowledgement. We are all in this together, Valerian. The threats that linger in the shadows require a unified front, and we cannot afford to let old rivalries and prejudices divide us. As the months passed, the Galactic Alliance took shape, with each member civilization contributing its unique strengths and resources to the collective effort. Trade routes were established, scientific collaborations flourished, and a sense of shared purpose began to emerge among the once disparate races. Yet, despite the progress, there were still pockets of resistance and resentment. Some groups saw the Terran influence as a form of subtle colonization, while others feared that the alliance would eventually lead to the erosion of their cultural identities. Harrington and her team worked tirelessly to address these concerns, engaging in open dialogues and facilitating cultural exchanges to build trust and understanding. They emphasized the benefits of the alliance: increased prosperity, technological advancement, and the collective security provided by the Terran fleet, while also assuring the other races that their autonomy and cultural heritage would be respected. Slowly but surely, the skepticism and mistrust began to give way to a growing sense of unity and shared destiny. The Galactic Alliance took on a life of its own, becoming a tapestry of diverse civilizations, each contributing its unique strengths to the greater good. As the Terran envoy observed the progress from the command center of the Galactic Council, a faint smile tugged at the corners of his lips. 500,000 years, he murmured to himself, and Earth's time has finally come. The galaxy is ours to protect, and we shall do so with wisdom, compassion, and an unwavering commitment to the prosperity of all. With that, he turned his attention back to the holographic displays, his mind already racing with plans for the future. A future where the Milky Way would thrive under the guiding hand of the Terran civilization, a beacon of hope and unity in the vast expanse of the cosmos. As the Galactic Alliance continued to solidify its foundations, the leadership of Earth found itself facing a critical decision: whether to reveal the truth about their clandestine activities and advanced capabilities to the general population. For centuries, the people of Earth had lived in relative isolation, their knowledge of the broader galactic community limited to the occasional sightings of alien vessels and the occasional rumors that filtered down from the upper echelons of power. Now, with Earth's role as the protector and guide of the Milky Way firmly established, the question of how to approach this momentous revelation loomed large. In the private chambers of the Global Space Command, Admiral Harrington and the Terran envoy, now a trusted advisor to the Earth's governing bodies, engaged in heated debates over the merits and risks of such a disclosure. The people have a right to know the truth, the Terran envoy argued, his brow furrowed in a frown. They have sacrificed and toiled for centuries, building the foundation for Earth's ascent to galactic prominence. To withhold this knowledge from them would be a grave disservice. Harrington nodded, acknowledging the validity of the envoy's concerns. I understand your perspective, but we must also consider the potential consequences. The revelation of our advanced technologies and our role in the Galactic Alliance could have far-reaching implications, both domestically and on the global stage. The Admiral paused, her gaze sweeping across the holographic displays that depicted the intricate web of interstellar trade routes and diplomatic agreements. There are those who would seek to exploit this knowledge, to undermine our position, and seize our technological secrets. We cannot afford to be careless. The Terran envoy considered Harrington's words, his expression thoughtful. Then we must present the truth in a way that inspires unity and pride, rather than fear and division. The people of Earth have faced countless adversities throughout their history, and they have always risen to the challenge. This moment is no different. Harrington's lips curled into a faint smile. You make a fair point. Very well, then. Let us craft a plan to reveal Earth's role in the galaxy to our people, one that will ignite their sense of purpose and destiny. And so, the leadership of Earth set to work, carefully crafting the message that would be delivered to the global populace. They knew that the revelation would be a momentous event, one that would forever alter the course of humanity's history and its place in the cosmic tapestry. When the day finally arrived, the people of Earth gathered in public squares and community centers, their eyes fixed on the holographic displays that projected the image of the Terran envoy, his features etched with a sense of gravity and purpose. "My fellow Earthlings," the envoy began, his voice resonating with a quiet authority. "For centuries, our planet has been a hidden gem in the vast expanse of the cosmos, its true potential obscured from the greater galactic community. But no more." The envoy paused, his gaze sweeping across the faces of the rapt audience. "500,000 years ago, our ancestors embarked on a journey of technological and scientific advancement, driven by a vision of a future where Earth would not only thrive, but play a pivotal role in shaping the destiny of the galaxy." A murmur of surprise and wonder rippled through the crowd as the envoy continued to recount the history of Earth's clandestine preparations and the recent confrontation with the Xenos invaders. "Today, we stand as the protectors of the Milky Way, our advanced fleets and technologies serving as a bulwark against the forces that seek to threaten the fragile balance of our cosmos. We are the guardians of a new galactic order, one where the diverse civilizations of the galaxy have come together under our banner, united in the pursuit of prosperity and security." The people listened with rapt attention, their expressions shifting from awe to a growing sense of pride and purpose. As the envoy concluded his speech, thunderous applause and cheers erupted, the people of Earth reveling in the knowledge that their planet had finally taken its rightful place among the stars. In the days and weeks that followed, the revelation sparked a surge of patriotism and global unity as the people of Earth embraced their newfound role and the responsibility that came with it. Schools and universities expanded their curriculum to include galactic history and interstellar diplomacy, while corporations and research institutions redirected their efforts toward furthering Earth's technological and scientific capabilities. The global government, once fragmented and plagued by petty rivalries, now stood united in its vision for the future, working tirelessly to strengthen the bonds of the Galactic Alliance and ensure the continued prosperity and security of their homeworld. As the Terran envoy observed the transformation unfolding before his eyes, a sense of profound satisfaction settled upon him. 500,000 years, he murmured, his gaze fixed on the holographic displays that depicted the ever-expanding reach of Earth's influence. 500,000 years, and the time has come for humanity to take its place among the stars. In the years that followed the momentous revelation of Earth's true capabilities and its pivotal role in the Galactic Alliance, the people of the third planet of the Sol system underwent a profound transformation. Inspired by the knowledge that their home world had emerged as a dominant force in the cosmos, they poured their collective energies into advancing their technological and scientific prowess, driven by a sense of purpose and destiny that had long eluded them. The global government, once fractured and plagued by petty rivalries, now stood united under a shared vision to ensure the continued prosperity and security of Earth, while also guiding the various alien civilizations that had come under the Terran banner. Ambitious programs were launched to share Earth's advanced knowledge and resources, with the goal of uplifting the other races and fostering a spirit of cooperation and mutual understanding. This unprecedented era of interstellar collaboration yielded remarkable breakthroughs, as the combined intellectual and technological resources of the Galactic Alliance led to revolutionary advancements in fields ranging from energy production to interstellar propulsion. The once isolated alien races found themselves rapidly catching up to the Terran standard, their societies undergoing rapid modernization and cultural evolution. It is truly remarkable to witness the rate of progress we have achieved since joining the Galactic Alliance, the Valerian ambassador mused during a session of the Galactic Council. The shared knowledge and resources have transformed our civilizations in ways we never thought possible. The Terran envoy, now a respected and influential figure within the Council, nodded in agreement. Indeed, Valerian. The potential of this alliance lies not just in our collective military might, but in our ability to push the boundaries of what is possible. Together, we can unlock the secrets of the cosmos and usher in a new era of prosperity and discovery. As the Galactic Alliance continued to grow and thrive, the people of Earth found themselves increasingly connected to the broader interstellar community. Diplomatic and cultural exchanges became commonplace, with representatives from the various alien races visiting Earth to experience its unique blend of advanced technology and rich cultural heritage. For the first time in their history, the Earthlings were no longer mere observers in the vast tapestry of the galaxy. They were active participants, shaping the destiny of the Milky Way through their leadership, innovation, and unwavering commitment to the ideals of the Alliance. This newfound sense of purpose and global unity had a profound impact on the trajectory of human civilization. Conflicts and tensions that had once plagued the planet began to recede, as the shared vision of a brighter future overshadowed the petty squabbles of the past. Poverty, disease, and environmental degradation were systematically addressed through the combined efforts of Earth's governments and the technological resources of the Galactic Alliance. In the halls of academia and research institutions, the brightest minds of Earth collaborated with their alien counterparts, unlocking new frontiers of scientific discovery and pushing the boundaries of what was once thought possible. Breakthroughs in fields like quantum computing, faster-than-light propulsion, and renewable energy sources revolutionized life on the planet, ushering in an era of unprecedented abundance and sustainability. As the decades passed, the Terran envoy, now a revered figure among both the Earthlings and the broader galactic community, watched with a sense of profound satisfaction as his vision for the future unfolded before his eyes. The once obscure race from the third planet of the Sol system had become a beacon of hope and progress, a model for the other civilizations to emulate and aspire to. 500,000 years, the envoy murmured, his gaze fixed on the holographic displays that depicted the ever-expanding reach of the Galactic Alliance. 500,000 years, and Earth has finally taken its rightful place among the stars. In the vast expanse of the Milky Way, the Terran civilization continued to grow and flourish, its influence radiating outward like the gentle warmth of a rising sun. The other alien races, once wary of Earth's ambitions, now embraced the Terran leadership, recognizing the immense value it brought to the collective well-being of the galaxy. Together, the members of the Galactic Alliance embarked on bold new ventures, exploring the uncharted regions of space, unlocking the secrets of the cosmos, and laying the foundations for a future where the diverse civilizations of the Milky Way would thrive in a state of harmony and mutual prosperity. And at the heart of it all, the people of Earth stood tall, their once-forgotten homeworld now a shining beacon of hope and progress, a testament to the power of vision, determination, and the unbreakable spirit of a species that had defied the odds and claimed its rightful place among the stars.